We're live.
Oh my God.
I know you've had a busy day, and I've had a busy day too. But listen, I'm glad you were able to carve out like 15, 20 minutes to talk to me, because one of the things that you and I have talked about privately is something that I don't know if you've kind of shared it with the world or if you've been on any of the famous television shows. Not that I'm famous. But hey, we all got to start somewhere, right? So for the people watching, this is LaTisha. A bunch of you have talked about how much fun she is when I have my big group chats, and how whenever she's talking to us, there's always, fireballs going in the background and mammoths jumping off windows. It's just a chaotic atmosphere. But I want to talk about where she lives, because where she lives and how she kind of does things is very interesting. She lives in a tiny house, and that's not
very tiny house.
That's not a random set of words. She lives in, well, there are two things that she does that I want her to kind of give you the game on, but one of them is that she lives in a tiny house. Tell them what a tiny, like capital T, capital H. Tell them what the tiny house movement conspiracy is.
I mean, I don't know that it's a conspiracy, really. It's just more about the value of your experience. And so I choose to live in a smaller space. My house is 290 square feet. And I live on 32 acres on private property in East Tennessee. And as far as the philosophy, it's more, I spend my time and money on adventures with my children and experiences, and have really cute things in my house. But, it frees me up from having to spend half of my free time cleaning a huge house that I can't maintain by myself. And, I have dedicated spaces in the house. And I don't know.
Well,
I don't have a philosophy exactly.
But when you say dedicated spaces, what do you mean? Like, what do you allocate? Well, first of all, to give people a perspective, how many square feet is your house?
290.
A lot of the people watching and friends and I, we have apartments that are bigger than that. And one of the things that a lot of people talk about is, for many years, home ownership was the key to success in America, particularly for a lot of Black families. That was kind of not just a sign of accomplishment, but a real way to break into that next level. Well, the economies have changed so much in the past couple of years that we moved to a rental. And here's the trick between having a house and renting. And I think maybe having a tiny house is a great compromise between the both. When you had a house, you had something that was building equity. Although the house prices have jumped up so much that the math doesn't work for a lot of people. However, the other side was supposed to be renting. If you rent an apartment, it was supposed to give you the liquidity you needed to do other stuff, which is why you rent while you're young and you're still running around. But we live in a world, and in the United States right now, where renting doesn't give you the money you need to have, and buying a house is out of the question for so many people, because we're still dealing with the backlash of the housing crisis, where they were targeting people with unmanageable loans. With a tiny house, like in your neighborhood, because you live on a giant plot of land, how many houses are there?
1, 2, 3, 5.
And you all still have room to have yards and places for your kids to run around and get lost?
Yeah. I mean, like, all of the houses are kind of together in a cluster, except for one that's back up the hill. I live on the side of a mountain in a valley. And, hold on. I'm on my cell phone, so I can actually, show you guys a little bit. So I was sitting on my porch, which has this janky pop-up on it because I haven't put a cover on the porch yet.
Wait, give us a shot of the house again. Don't lose reception. Don't lose reception.
Okay, so there's my house.
There.
You can't really see the front. The front of it is right there. And then I live in a valley. The meadow is down there.
Wow.
And
meadow.
There's a house here.
A meadow is what? Just a deep green area?
Yeah, it's like a big a meadow in the valley. There's grass and a fire pit, a big one over there. There's another house back up the hill this way that you can't really see from here. This is Heartwood Cabin. Now, And this here is a creek that runs right in front of my house. There's like a swing set over there. There's a big swimming hole right there. There's a house over in that corner. And then there's another house here. There's my car. And back to my porch again.
So
ta-da!
You have this tiny house in a big plot of land with neighbors that allow you to have a community in a place where I guess the worst you have to worry about is your kid getting stung by something. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it has.
I don't know, mosquitoes, kind of. Not really mosquitoes. I put up mosquito eradicators, which are the best thing ever.
I don't even know what those are, but they sound brutal.
I mean, they're not really. They just draw them away from the habitable areas on your property. So I can sit on my porch all time of day and not get eaten alive by blood-sucking insects, which is great. And we have some wildlife out here. I came out back in the spring, and there was a bear on my porch.
Okay.
But yeah, like a big black bear. Nothing. I just yelled at it, and it went away.
Okay. You yelled at it from inside the house, right?
No. I came outside because I thought it was raccoons getting in my trash can. And the black bear was on the porch, and I said, dude, what are you doing? Go home. And really loud. And the bear like looked at me and was like, okay. And like wandered back into the woods. And then
that sounds so not smart to just actually engage the bear.
It was an accident. Like I came outside on my porch and the bear was like standing right here in this doorway. And I was standing there. And wow. I don't know. I just yelled at it because I mean they don't like loud noises. And then when I came back to the house, the bear had come and taken my trash can into the woods because there's a locking trash can. I don't know.
So stole it so we could crack it open later.
Yeah, it's like East Tennessee takeout for bears.
East Tennessee takeout for bears. That's an awesome quote. I'm gonna write that down. Takeout for bears. Takeout for bears. That's but so what I'm getting out of the tiny house thing is, what is the average cost per square foot or meter to purchase out there, or is it the same as a large house but you're buying less house?
I mean, as far as purchase right now, I don't know because I am renting actually this house so that I can save to buy my own and build my own tiny house on a different property.
You say build from the ground up?
Yeah. But I mean, to build a house, like you see the shows on television, like the tiny house shows, those people are kind of in a different social status and they spend just the same as they would spend on a regular size house. Like you hear them spending $50, $60, $70, $100,000 on a tiny house. That is really unnecessary. You can build a really sturdy house, dried in with all the bells and whistles for like $16,000.
Word? 16 grand?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So let me, well, before we go to the other side of the coin, you're telling me, let's just round it up. Let's just say I'm extravagant. I just need a whole bunch of stuff in my house. 20 grand, I could roll into an area like yours. Now, maybe it's East Tennessee, maybe it's not. A tiny house community, build a house, still have all the amenities. Clearly, you have perfect Wi-Fi because we're going loud. That's possible.
Yeah.
Why are people doing it? Why am I dealing every day with so many people from the United States and other countries, but this may be an American privilege, calling me saying, "What? I've read a lot about what you said on Bitcoin and saving money and this and that, but I can't get off the ground. I want to buy this. I want to buy that." How come more people aren't taking advantage of what you do?
I mean, I think it's because, fear is a big factor. I would say also the fact that our wages are flat in the United States and a lot of people are, still paycheck to paycheck. You can't save $16,000 if you're not making enough to live on, and then the financing is the different. So, like with a house, you can, based on your income or whatever, they give you a percentage. You can get a loan to build a house. You can get a loan to buy a house. And tiny house financing is kind of different because Some of them, are on wheels. They're like, you can pull them with a truck. Some of them, like my house is on a permanent foundation, the one that I'm renting right now. And I think for some of it, it's just because, like if you, like I said, you can build the house piece by piece if you're saving, but if you don't have enough to save, then where are you going to get the money from? Like you can't finance it a lot of times. I mean, there's options now if you go through companies, but
because I'm thinking 20 grand. I think of all the large scale operations that so many people come to me talking about, saying we can go into this business or that business. Can you get me, or can you find someone who can dump in 100 grand, 50 grand? But at 20 grand, do I smell a business opportunity to just finance tiny homes for people? Because I mean,
probably
if you find somebody 50
that's the thing.
Grand, that's only 10 grand. I know people that could pull that out of their savings and get a percentage on that. We might have to talk offline about this. Playing that money song in my background.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually look, Wateef, though, let me tell you, you can actually purchase a tiny house on Amazon.
Wow.
But those are like containers, like shipping containers. You can buy a shipping container house on Amazon. And that's like, I can't remember. I think the last time I looked at it was like 14 or 16,000. And you can, pick your stuff. But basically, that's, a shipping container that's been converted to a living space. They bring it in on a truck and drop it wherever you want it. Or if you own an 18-wheeler, you can just drive your house all over creation if you want to, So there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different options. I'm going to build a permanent house on a different property that's close by where I'm at now. Originally, I wanted one that was a pullable house, but I find that for me, it works better if I have a stationary location that I travel for work and stuff occasionally. And then, I can, my employment's mobile, my business is mobile. So
here's the other side of the coin I wanted to get to. So you're saving money on one end by having a tiny house with extraordinarily low expenses. With you're out in Tennessee, but clearly Wi-Fi is a thing that so much of the United States just has jumping everywhere. You're a virtual assistant, right? I could define that. Like I send clients to you. I could define that, but I want you to give us an in-depth who you are, because this is normally when I would put my own commercial for my own services in, but I'm going to say that for last. I'm going to concede this time to you. Give us a very clear, detailed rundown of what you do as a virtual assistant, how you manage to operate it online, how you stay profitable, and what you do, not just for clients you have now, but if anybody who's watching this wants to hire you or contract you. I don't know. What is it?
Okay, so, I mean, I started out more general than what I do now. And basically, virtual services can be a lot of different things. So as a virtual assistant, you want to think of general office work. All the things a person could do for any business in their office. So if you're at a dentist's office, you think reception. If you're at, any kind of place where you have a customer facing or client facing position, where you use programs like Word and Excel and those kind of things. That's general virtual services. So that's where I started. I do have an advanced degree in human resources, so my niche has kind of shrank a little bit more to that. Did you drop your Star Wars?
So what's happening in the background? I dropped my Star Wars. I'll put it back up.
So I do lots of different services. I focus mostly on event planning, human resources for small, medium businesses. And basically, I fill the gaps in that nexus point once a business gets to the point where, if anybody starts a business, at first you're doing everything yourself. You're doing filing, you're doing recruiting for the positions, you're doing all the marketing, you're doing all the concepts for everything. What I do is kind of come in to assist people in that transition, to help them do recruiting and marketing, to help them do social media management, to help them do all of those type of not accounting, but administrative functions that they would do normally on their own. But once your business grows to a certain point, you're unable to do that. And that's where I come in. So, if I have gotten clients through services where, small, medium business owners are looking for assistance that can work remotely, that have flexible hours. And we partner, we discuss what they need, and I kind of give them an overview of where I can fit in and what I can help them with. And then we set hours and availability and go from there.
Now that I've got everything fixed in the background, you're out there calling me out while I have to readjust my Star Wars poster. I got stuff dropping everywhere. But you forgot to mention the best and most important way that you get new clients is through referrals. And
that's true.
Not just you and me catching up, but more and more often people come to me for advice on a lot of things because of some of the success I've had. But a growing chunk that I feel proud to say are, how can I get out of this rat race, work for myself somewhere? Maybe living abroad isn't for everybody, and I have to open my mind up to say I can't recommend the same dosage for every client. I have to say, listen, what do you do to get you where you need to be? Because people have begun contracting me as an advisor for their lives. And the only
You're a life coach?
No, you know what? I would never call myself a life coach, because I think to call yourself a life coach, you have to be certified. And that would be something that would be an insult to people who are certified. I'm a guy who's lived around the world, succeeded in a few different businesses, and I'm just trying to give you the game as I see fit. And the best thing to do for me is give as much information as I can for free. One of my mentors taught me very young, take everything you have and just throw it out there. And if people see it, they'll come to you for quality. Even if they go someplace thinking I can get it done by someone less, I don't know, handsome, charming, maybe someone who doesn't
more humble.
does not have a luxurious mustache, but that's okay.
A luxurious handlebars.
They keep coming back. And and this is something I'll say for everyone watching this. The way that I've been able to kind of grow this channel, because behind the computer I can see how many people have been watching my videos. Share this somewhere. I don't care if it's on your Facebook or on your LinkedIn. I don't care if it's on your what's another one? Twitter. Share this. Share it. Share this or another video that you, or Instagram. Share one video that you really enjoyed, because that's how I get to meet new people, and people say, hey, either I like them or I don't. But it helps open my world up, and if I can open my world up, eventually I'll start bringing things to other people. Now it's time for my commercial, though, because I don't make any money off Google. I don't make any money off signing any contracts for any advertising. I'm an editor, ghostwriter, copywriter, copy editor, line editor. If it has to do with the English language, that's something I do. People from all over the world, from big companies to small to individuals who have websites hire me to ghostwrite for them. Large companies that may have a website that they need put into clear and academic English contract me for that. Someone may have a contract that they have to send to an English-speaking country, and they already speak English or don't and need it translated into English. I'm the person that they hire to translate that, put it in correct university English, and make sure all the punctuation is correct. Make sure the words mean what you think that they mean. The last part I'll tell you is a lot of people that you see from the United States are in the United States or on YouTube who aren't American, but in fact are speaking English, even though it's not their first language. Well, they work with me or someone like me. I work for months at a time with everyone from politicians to academics, because they need to sound as clear in English as they do in Portuguese, and that's where I come in. So we've got both sides of the coin. We've got how you've been doing the tiny house thing to save money, which you've been doing the right thing. You're renting and you have the privilege of saving money on the side. We've got how you're making money online, because you can run an entire empire from your desktop. What am I missing? Tell me something that I wouldn't even know to ask. If you have an audience of people and you can say, let me give you something that has helped me in life, whether it's business or personal or anything else, what would you give them?
A lot of the questions that I get asked are, how do you get started doing virtual services? And you and I have had several conversations about this. I think the biggest thing is to make sure that you build your skill set. And I think a lot of people think that college is necessary for that, and it's really not. I mean, I have a bunch of specialized degrees and certifications, but for a lot of the basic things that you need, if you don't have the skill set, you can find classes really easily. There's and for some people that do coding and stuff, women who code, there's free classes for that. Groupon has a lot of really amazing training classes, and sometimes they do flash sales, so you can get all of your certification classes that you would need for Excel, for Word, for, I mean, the entire Office suite, for a lot of the programs that you have now for anywhere from $1 to $20 each. And then you have all your certifications that you need. You can get recommendation letters and build your LinkedIn profile, because that's going to be like your online, like how you present yourself to the world as a virtual services person. You can use Facebook, but LinkedIn is really a big, social media way to get yourself out there. And so if someone says, hey, how do you do what you do? You can point them straight to your LinkedIn and have your services listed. You can have all your certifications and your recommendations listed right there. I think that is the biggest thing that I've utilized to kind of help me get started when I didn't really know how to market myself. So,
there you have it. We kept it under 30 minutes. I know you got a bunch of junk to take care of. So let me do this. I'm going to kick these people out. You and me going to chat for one quick second afterwards. I love you. Love everybody else. Talk to you later.
Bye.